Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I'm going to show you how to make washi tape out of, drumroll please, washi paper. See these little cute decorative tape strips I've made out of beautiful washi paper? It's a really great way to use your lovely handmade papers. For one thing, when you're making a card, you hate to layer, you hate to hide all this gorgeous paper under layers, under stamped elements. So when you make some tape out of it, you can use it for borders or to anchor pieces down, and you get to still see all that. See how metallic that is, that little mouse paper? It's so pretty. All of these papers come from About Art Accents. You can find them at www.artneco.com, and they have a beautiful assortment of papers, as you can see here. I just got this sampler pack in the mail, and I'm going to show you how to make tape with it using a Xyron machine or any adhesive sheet applying machine. If you just have the Xyron sticker maker, simply trim your paper narrower and slide it through like that. So what I'm going to do is put my paper face up on the platform on my Xyron. This is the Creatopia machine. You may remember I won it last spring on my craft channel. They had a giveaway, they had a tip of the day giveaway, and I was lucky enough to win. And I found this is just a wonderful use for this machine. Now, as I can see it past the roller, I'm going to go ahead and add another sheet of paper. And I'm just going to keep going until I have applied adhesive to all of my pieces of paper that I want to. It's a little wide. I'll go with a narrower one here. You could do this with origami paper, with wrapping paper, mulberry paper, any of your delicate papers, highly designed ones that you just don't want to hide under a layer, those special papers you've been hoarding because you want to save them for just, oh, look at that, it's got little Neko kitties on it, I love it. The paper you've been kind of saving for a special occasion. I know you have those in your stash. I know. I'm right in the club with you. And I love this lovely sheet of paper coming out here. Isn't that a riot? I just love that. That just makes me happy. The nice thing is if you're not ready to use it right away, you can always go ahead and make this and then just trim it out when you need it. And I'm going to show you how to trim it out in a minute. I know this is just riveting, isn't it? Let's see. I kind of want to use all this paper up like this because it does make really, really pretty papers. But since those end up at the same, they kind of stop at the same place, I'm not going to waste any adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and slide my cutter across and cut off this lovely sheet of washi goodness. Now let me move this machine out of the way. I'm going to show you how to deal with that great big piece of paper. We're going to take a cutter. Now you want a rotary cutter because if you try to cut this apart with a guillotine cutter, it's just going to bend your paper over. Washi paper is very soft and fibrous, and it doesn't deal well with the guillotine cutters, and it doesn't deal well with the drag cutters, like the Fiskars cutter that you kind of drag a blade across. It will snag and tear. You want to use a rotary cutter if you have it, or a pair of scissors. So I'm just cutting apart the panels of paper. So you want to do that for each of those pieces because you're going to need to square it off because it's not going to come through the machine perfectly square. So let's just pretend I've cut all those pieces, and we'll just I'll show you with this little mouse one what to do. I'm using the cutter peed. I really like this cutter. Some people say that they've had trouble getting a straight cut with it, but I've never had any trouble with it. So I've squared off one side, and then I'm just going to square off another. This isn't too far off, so I'm not going to have much waste. Alright, and then you probably want to take off the release paper, but before I do that, I'm just going to burnish over it with a bone folder, just to make sure that I'm not going to have any glue boogers sticking to the outside of my paper. Alright, now the fun part. We're just going to make strips of tape, and you can make them whatever width you want. I like 3/4 inch personally, but if you want a 1/2 inch, or you want 1 inch, or 1 1/2, it's completely up to you. Here's a 1 inch one I'll show you. And the grid on the board here makes it easy to line it up. I like to do mostly 3/4 inch, and then when I get to the end, I may make a couple odd sizes so I can best use my paper. The rotary cutter cuts it without any snags. I get a nice smooth clean cut. Like I said, these papers are very fibrous, and a lot of times they have gilding on them and uneven texture, so you want to make sure that you use a rotary cutter. I mean, rotary cutters are designed for fabric mostly, so if it can handle cutting fabric without tearing it and snagging it, then it's going to do just fine on your washi paper. And I'm just going to cut the, actually I think I'll just leave that like that. That looks pretty even. Alright, so now you probably are wondering, how are you going to use this on a card? The nice thing is these all have backing pieces on it. You can store them in a drawer. They're not going to be that hard to deal with. So you can take one of these strips. Here's one I made earlier. They're so pretty, aren't they? And I think I want to notch cut this. So just to do a simple notch cut, I'm going to fold it right just on the end and snip it with my scissors. And then you can tear this tape just like you would traditional washi tape, but I want to get two nice pieces out of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and snip both ends and then cut it in half. But you can tear it, which is really nice. There we go. And you peel off the backing. It should come off pretty easily. Hopefully I'm in frame here. I have the tripod, the camera at a different spot so that you can see. Look at that. It's great. It really feels like authentic washi tape. There. Whoops, I put it a little crooked. And another bonus to this, I'm using the permanent adhesive, but if you would prefer to have like a lighter adhesive or a heavier adhesive, you can, choose the adhesive that you want. And again, if you have the sticker maker, trim your paper down to fit it. You might even do like a strip at a time. That might be a little time consuming and a pain in the butt. Another thing you could probably do, use like a, maybe like a repositional spray on the back of your tape and then stick it down to a piece of wax paper or something. That might give you stickers. I'm not sure. If anyone wants to try that and leave a comment and tell me how you make out, please do. That would be really helpful to everybody. But there you go. See, it's really, really cute and easy. This is actually a votive wrap. You'd put a votive candle behind it and it would shine through the vellum. I got vellum on the back there. It's the challenge this week at Oriental Stamp Art. So I'm hoping some of my fellow Oriental Stamp artists will glean a little fun from that tip. I'll show you how you can tear it. I've got this kind of scrap here that I was, it was just kind of the end where it was not even, but see, you can tear that right off. That's more of a mulberry paper and you get that nice feathery edge. It's a great way to use these washi papers and the origami papers. The papers are hard to come by that you really want to make the most out of. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting!